How many pounds have you lost in 15 days?
11 pounds in 15 days.
But 11 pounds in 15 days. That is wild. I want to start off by asking you a few questions, Tammy. Can you tell me before, you've only been in this program for 15 days, but
Right.
what did you do before finding me to try to lose weight? What have you tried to do?
Optifast, Jenny Craig, B12 shots, starving myself, intermittent fasting, keto. I think that pretty much covers it.
I was going to ask you, where were you before just talking to me? Deciding, were you like, hey, I'm done doing weight loss programs? Or where were you emotionally? What would you decide?
So I'm 48 years old and have been dealing with a lot of perimenopause symptoms where I just feel up and down from one moment to the next. I was not in a good headspace. I was being mean to the people I love. And, a lot of brain fog was intense. Through one of my leadership coaches who did the program, I saw her. We see each other every 3 months. And literally, I had just seen her 3 months ago and she looked like a whole different person. I mean, she was glowing, she was happy. And we started talking about hormone reset and the things women in their 40s go through that, until I met you, Dr. Goldman, they can give me a pill and I could go on hormone replacement therapy and do all those things. But just through this program and this process, it's really about food is giving me everything that I need, getting my vitamins and my nutrients and loving myself after I eat. Usually I eat and I regret it and I'm not loving myself and I'm talking bad to myself and just the words that you've given me. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, I'm hungry. That's bad. I shouldn't, I should just go to sleep or something. And now It's like, oh, I'm hungry. Listen to my body. I wasn't hungry after I ate. Now I'm hungry. Let me have an apple. So just really, instead of shaming myself and feeling bad, loving myself, like you had said, eat the beautiful foods, nourish your body.
Tammy, I want to ask you, what have you noticed because you're on day 15, which means you're just switching away from sugar to fat. What have you noticed about yourself as you're doing this?
I feel more energized. I had really bad insomnia, and where when you were going through the plan and the sleep, you have to get sleep or you're not going to lose weight. I'm like, oh no, this is going to be my downfall. But honestly, I've done nothing other than changing my eating habits, and my sleep has been so good. I used to maybe sleep 2 to 3 hours a night and it would be broken up. And now I get in bed and I'm just immediately asleep. Sometimes I'll wake up still, but for the most part, I feel more rested, energized. I think too, I don't know if I've experienced so many hormonal changes, but I will say I find myself being able to pay attention more at work. I feel more alert.
I want to go back to those two things. You said you were getting 2 to 3 hours of interrupted sleep. Tammy, how are you functioning?
When I hit 44, 45, my sleep just went downhill. And I've seen different doctors. One doctor prescribed me Ambien and that stuff had me tripping out, sleepwalking and eating. I stopped that. And now I've tried melatonin and different things. And yes, I can get to sleep normally before the program, but I can't stay asleep. Really hard when you're in a partnership where he sleeps lightly.
Right.
It's getting up again.
Big deal. So tell me, why are you sleeping better now?
I don't know, because I always thought okay, if you have a full stomach, you gorge yourself almost, you're gonna pass out and be in a sleep coma, they say, right? Sleepitis or whatever. But I always feel satiated and satisfied after I eat, but I don't feel that bloating and that oh my God, I regret everything I ate. So I don't know, I guess the diet, that's the only thing that's changed. Not diet, sorry, the way we've been eating. That's the only thing that changed.
It's wild. So beautiful. Now, you also mentioned, I think, you're more clarity of thought. Does that make sense why you're actually thinking more clearly?
Yeah. So I had been starting a lot of things at work. I have a very demanding position at my job, and I would start a million things and then, oh, this person pinged me, oh, that person. And I would just leave things where they were at and I would forget where I left off. And I feel like I'm more organized, more focused. I'm not dropping as many balls as I was at work. It really sucks when your mental's impacted. I'm used to functioning at a certain level in my career. And when your brain, where you feel like you have no power and this is what I'm destined to be with this memory issue and brain fog and all of that. But just you talking to me about, hey, if this is how you're feeling at 48, what does 58 look like for you? And I'm like, oh my gosh,
Right.
8,000 pills later, just like learning that my age does not say like, this is a life sentence. This is how I'm going to live the rest of my life, that I do have control and power to change it.
Wow. Tami, that makes me very happy what you just said there. That makes me great because that is true freedom. It is true freedom.
Yeah.
I should say this. How many pounds have you lost in 15 days?
11 pounds in 15 days.
So I have 10 on the title, but 11 pounds in 15 days. That is wild. How much weight did you lost with some of the programs before, and how much time did that take?
I was 300 pounds, I think I told you, 3 years ago now. I did keto and I lost a lot of weight. And then I started stopping losing weight. So I incorporated intermittent fasting and I lost 100 pounds. So I went from and it took me a year, 300 pounds to 200 pounds. But then I've been fluctuating for 2 years with this stupid 10 pounds. So I told you, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm half a pound away from being 199. And I can't remember the last time I weighed that. Yeah, I've been struggling with these 10 pounds for 2 years. So to lose it in 15 days, I wouldn't believe it.
What a good story, Tami. And let's give you a lot of acknowledgement because I don't think people can really understand what that feels like to feel 300 pounds, what that feels like physically, mentally, and I'm going to say emotionally too.
Yes.
Because I know what it feels like to 15 to 20 pounds felt freaking terrible. I would go as far as to say that at that weight, there's an enslavement. It's almost like a prison inside your own body.
Yes.
Yeah. Gosh, I can feel that. And so I love this because what you just described, the way you lost that, is congratulations. And how your body, Tami, will not let you keep losing weight like that because it loves you. It goes, I want you to nourish me. And so we did something completely different, Tami. So would you describe, because people watch us may not know what you did, they hear you saying, I couldn't get, what have you done? What did you do to lose this 10 pounds in 15 days?
Yeah, so I love to cook. I have a Mexican background, and all of our stuff is I can't say all of it, but a lot of food is fried, heavy creams, cheeses, carbs. I also like to make Italian food. So on this program, we basically lean meats, vegetables, and fruit. So basically, after the night of my loading days, the last night, day 2 of my loading days, it was actually good timing because the trash came the next day. I literally took it, and I had just bought a bunch of groceries. I took a bag and I threw everything away. And I'm just like, I don't want it in the house. So I think, just having that as not an option anymore at night when I'm hungry, there's no more cake or whatever. There's an apple, which now, by the way, tastes like a dessert to me. Fruits are so good.
Why is that? Then apple tastes good. What do you think?
I think just my taste buds isn't used to sweet anymore, is what I think. And so I'm getting that sweet and that crunch from the apples and with the cinnamon on them.
Tami, you're telling me that you've lost 10 pounds eating fruit? Can you tell me about that?
Yes, 4 ounces. Okay, 4 ounces of lean meat, 4 ounces of vegetables, and 4 ounces of fruit. 2 times a day, lunch and dinner. We do not eat breakfast. So yeah, just finding out what works for me. When I was getting ready to start, I went to the store and I bought 8,000 kinds of vegetables, so many different kinds of meats, and I didn't know what I was gonna or what I'm going to continue to cook. And now I'm to the point where it's okay, I don't need 8,000 vegetables. Let me make broccoli for a few days and heat that up. So I'm just really zeroing in on what I like and what works for me.
I love that. What else can you tell people? What else have you learned in these 15 days about yourself? If you don't mind sharing.
I think not to be so hard on myself. My brothers have always said, you don't live in a gray area world. You're black or white. Once you fully commit to doing something, there's no room for error. And I think, just learning not to be hard on myself. And oops, by the way, Dr. Goldman, this meat I ate was not lean.
Right.
Just learning those things and not literally when I did that the other day, I was like, screw this, I'm done with it, whatever, let me go get some ice cream. But then I was like, this works. I've been struggling with this and you had said like, this is a learning lesson. This is a learning lesson. And I just took that to heart. I'm like, okay, he's right. It's okay. I pick up and start back tomorrow.
And it's funny because you're down 10 pounds. It's like, imagine if you'd have just like given up there, and it's so easy to do that. And so I just want to share the lesson that you learned with most people, because you had eaten roast. And, one of the things you can't really tell, even if it says lean, this is important for people to hear, it can say lean, but on this, we have people eating 96% or more lean. And, you said, hey, I cut the fat off. That's something I found out. I realized you can't cut fat off. I figured it out the hard way. I used to cut it and think it was doing anything. I even have people who will squeeze the fat out of the meat and they think get more lean, and it doesn't.
Yeah.
So yeah, quite interesting. And I learned that exact same lesson when I was 35. I was a bodybuilder at 24. By the time I was 35, I had a belly, and I couldn't figure out why. That's how I even started this. Paleo and keto and all this stuff, none of it worked. And I had 15 pounds I could not get off. And that's where I started exploring this. One of the things I found was that I was eating so much fat, eggs and bacon in the morning. And then I'd have a bacon cheeseburger and with avocado. And I'd wonder, why can't I lose this fat? Aren't fats good for you? I want to say this, Tami, because you learn this now. It's like, okay, if I put fat in my mouth, it's a simple formula, then I'm not going to burn it off my body. And that only applies right now, Tami, because your hormones are working correct. If someone's listening to this, that does not apply to you if your hormones are out of balance. And when I say out of balance, your hormones are using sugar. You can cut all the fat and sugar out, and your body still won't use the fat. So that's an important piece. Were you going to say something?
Just listening.
So you mentioned skipping breakfast. So some people go, "Oh, you use fasting," and I want to say this to people is, we don't fast on this program, okay? And I want to be real specific, because in the morning, fasting was intended truly to be able to burn fat. But for 90% of people, it doesn't. And so because we reset your hormones, you are actually eating the fat off your body. And it sounds gross, but that's what's happening. So we're not skipping breakfast. You're getting high potent, high quality fuel. Like when you lose a half pound, that's a half pound of fat. I mean, that's about this much fat. So you had a really full breakfast every morning eating the fat. Does that make sense?
I already enjoyed it.
I know, right? Thanks for joining me on here. Yeah.
I appreciate you, Dr. Goldman. This is, I'm still early into it, but it really already has like shifted the way that I think about food. And so I appreciate you for that.
Oh, yes. I love it. Thanks for going through this with me. I get to be, sometimes I get to be the good guy and the bad guy in this process. And I'm okay being that, you know what I mean? And I love the awareness of how all of us we are so incredibly hard on ourselves. We are harder on ourselves than people we hate. So proud. I'm so excited to see what happens.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're doing so good. That's the truth. And so when we really realize that, it's like, my gosh, that's quite interesting to see that, So anyway, thank you so much. Sending you love. And hey, maybe we do another live on day 40 and see where you're at.
Yes, that'd be fun. Thank you, Dr. Goldman. Thank you, everyone.
Cool.